What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. If you're new to the channel, y'all hit the subscribe button. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything at all, and it helps us to continue doing what we enjoy doing and making this content. Now on with the video. So today I kind of want to break away from talking about stuff that's actually or stuff about the game, as far as what we think that the game will be made of and stuff like that. I really want to talk a little bit today about expectations, kind of setting the tone for not only this game but Dragon Ball games going forward. Um, because expectation can make or break a game. If your expectations are too high and you don't get everything you expected, then you're left feeling empty. You left feeling left out and cheated, and thus it's going to affect the overall feeling towards the game. Now we are having these discussions, and all of this is just discussion. There's little known fact about this game, so everything that we're doing right now is speculation and discussion. And while I enjoy it, I do have to make it known that it is just for discussion purposes at this point. Now, once they release more information, then we can dive a lot more deeper into how this game is going to be. And I just kind of want to bring everybody back a little. We get really excited and our expectations get really high, and it's justified. I mean, it's 2019. We're on the edge of having the next PlayStation and Xbox consoles out. We're on 4K television. You know, uh, so the expectations with video games is pretty high because nothing puts a more sour taste in our mouth than getting a game that has the same stuff that older games had. I mean, and then it just ends up being a graphical upgrade. So, my expectations for this game, I'm not gonna lie, they're high. They're high. Now, will the game live up to that? I don't know. I doubt it. The reason why I doubt it is because it's just never happened. How many times have we played Dragon Ball games? And every new game that comes out, you're sitting there wondering, wow, man, when is, if they just had to put this in the game, this game would have been perfect. Or if they had to put that in the game, this game would be perfect. And you would think that as a publisher developer, you would look at every Dragon Ball game and look at the most popular features and combine them in it. But it seems like they always miss the mark. And that's what put a sour taste in my mouth for Xenoverse. My expectations were very high for Xenoverse. And I was let down tremendously because we don't have beam struggles. Why would you take beam struggles out? Everybody loves beam struggles. Wait, we don't have destructible environments? Why would you take that out? Whoa, ultimates don't even look like ultimates. They just look like generic attacks. Just things like that. A really watered down version. Because my expectations lie with the anime and the manga. When I look at Dragon Ball, if I want to play a game based off of something, to me, it should represent that. Similar to sports titles like Madden. A lot of people in the Madden community are upset at the product that EA puts out every year because it doesn't represent football. So same thing with this, I know that making a game is difficult. As far as like destructible environments, somebody commented yesterday about this, and it was a very, very valid point that, you can only have so much stuff on the screen. And this is the same way with all games. You can only have so much stuff on the screen before you start to have frame rate drops, the game freezing and crashing and stuff like that. So as far as destructible environments, that's why you can't just have a completely like a destructible environment that you can continue to destroy. It has to be basically pre-rendered in a sense to where, oh, if you do this attack, then it's going to look like this, no matter what the attack is or stuff like that. So, and I get stuff like that, but it's still nice to have it in the game. Xenoverse didn't put that in the game at all, and it just took away from the combat. I want, I expect if I have a game that is based off of an anime, I expect it to represent that anime. That's why I harp so much about training in this game. That's why I harp so much about destructible environments and cutscene ultimate and super attacks because that's what you see in the anime. That's what gives Dragon Ball Z its pop. So picture the anime. Take away the cutscene ultimate attacks, the over the top ultimate attacks. Take away the destructible environments. Take away the beam struggles and the chaos, and take away the training, and are you still left with Dragon Ball Z? And if the answer to that question is no, then how can you make a game and leave those things out as well? You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, based off of the anime, my expectations are high, but I'm also realistic. And I feel like we should all be realistic about everything that comes out. Okay. So, especially with this game, we know that Bandai has struck a deal with Shueisha to come out with the game every year. What I'm thinking is that now they have fighters, they have Xenoverse, they have fighters for the fighting genre, they have Xenoverse for the whole customization, create a character, what if timeline kind of people. And then they're having this game for those who just like Dragon Ball just the way that it is. For the RPGers, the open worlders, if it is open world, but for the RPG fans. And my assumption is that they will put these 3 games on a 3-year rotation, in a sense. So, for instance, this game comes out this year. Next year, it's going to be time for Xenoverse 3. I know they'll do Xenoverse 3. I really have a strong feeling. The reason why is because they're still doing DLC for Xenoverse 2. People are still buying Xenoverse 2. They're still supporting it. And it's sold over 10 million copies. It would be an idiotic move not to do a Xenoverse 3. Now, my issue with Xenoverse 3, which we'll start discussing those too as well, is I'm going to start a Xenoverse 3 discussion series. But my issue with Xenoverse 3 is, where do you go with the story? How do you make a refreshing story? You know, and I think we got a hint of that at the end of Xenoverse 3 with the Fu DLC, with being able to do what they marketed the game as anyway, as in altering the timeline. Because when you got Xenoverse, you thought you were going to be able to alter the timeline, but then you didn't have any control over it. So I think in the future, they're going to give us more control over the actual timeline. Kind of like a Detroit Become Human type scenario. Based off of different things that you do, it alters the timeline of the game and stuff like that. So next year, I expect Xenoverse 3. The following year, I expect maybe Dragon Ball Fighters 2, since Dragon Ball Fighters at that point would have been out by, 2 years or so. And then the year after that, we'll probably get a sequel to this game. It depends on how well it sells. If this game doesn't sell well, they're going to scrap it and they're going to go with something else. But they do have to come out with a game every year. So, you know, with that also being said, it's a good thing because Dragon Ball is going to be around for a while. Not only that, but we're going to have different variety in Dragon Ball. And then also, the games may not be super in depth simply because they know that they're coming out with another game next year, kind of thing. Even though it's not the same series of games. Like if it was Xenoverse, they're coming out with Xenoverse every year, that wouldn't be a good thing, because then you fall into the whole Assassin's Creed thing where you got the game coming out every year and there's not a lot of major improvements and things like that. Whereas when they came out every 2 or 3 years, then there was a major improvement in the game. So it's good that they're doing different types of games. But like I said, the expectations for me are high. You see, I mean, the animation is always on point. I love the way the animation looks. And another thing that I noticed even in the trailer is just different stuff. Like here, yeah, Gohan's a child, but Goku doesn't have anything on his gi. Whereas in the anime, he had Master Roshi's signia on his gi. So could that mean customization as far as your clothing and stuff like that? I mean, it's just so much to look at. So much to look at. And we know that their clothes did play a part, because Goku's clothes were weighted. And Whis gave him a uniform in Super, a gi, that was lightweight, stretched, different material, you know. And so, you know, it's just like I said, just expectations from the anime. Wanting a game to live up to that is really, really, really raising my expectations. Now, me, I'm the type person where, like I said, in the back of my mind, I know they're not going to deliver every single thing that we want. And I also understand that the way that Bandai is going with these games is they're doing DLC, season passes and stuff. So you have to wonder what type of content is going to be the downloadable content, the DLC for it. So just waiting to see all that. But what are y'all's expectations? Truthfully, I know we just had one trailer. So don't say like, well, we only just had one trailer. How can you? Everybody has expectations. Now, they change throughout the time. But as of right now, What are your expectations for this game? Do you think that it will be a great game? Are your expectations high for it? Or do you think that it's kind of one of those things where the trailer looks good, the screenshots look good, but the game is not going to live up to that same level and expectation? Let me know down in the comment section down below, y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching. Till next time, peace.